Guys, we got a hot topic this week. We're talking about sports games becoming a little stagnant. It's because, why? Because they lack competition. Let's be honest. When we get into it, Madden, there's Madden. There's no other football game. There's NHL. There's no other hockey game. Baseball is the same thing. MLB The Show, right? NBA 2K 2021, 2022, same thing. Year in, year out, same developer, same game, blah, 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 blah. Nate, I know you're just fired up before we even got into this. So why don't you lead the charge, buddy? What's going on in the world of sports games? What can they do better to improve? And why are we just sitting here year after year with the same game?
Well, this is what happens when a monopoly is created. When you have one company, they can slack. And as you can see over the years, I mean, if you look at Madden 22, I think the user score rating is something like 0.8. So the fact that it's below 1, this is saying something, guys. Yeah. This isn't like, an IGN even, they give it a 6. And that's a low score for IGN to give them, to give Madden. So, guys, what is the problem here? Well, they create a game every single year. The developers, I don't even give them too much fault. They have 9 months to crunch out a new game, try to make new features and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I think this kind of has to rely on EA. I mean, they push this every single year. I think with the $3 billion or something that they made last year they've made billions of dollars, on sports games alone. They could hire a second company so that we could get, just more features in our sports games. I mean, you can look at, I think it's something like Madden 2006. They have features in that game that are completely have been abandoned for like 10 years in Madden. Yeah. Why? I have no idea. I mean, they've been there. They're already there. Why not use them? So before I ramble too much, because I could go on this for a long time. But Corey, what do you think, man?
Well, I mean, I think we all consider ourselves somewhat casual sports games players. We've all played the Chells, the Maddens, the 2Ks, that kind of thing, and we all enjoy them to a degree. Yeah. But when we get into these games, like you were just noting at the beginning, Drew, it lacks a level of competitiveness, not even only just with the other games in the market that are the same, whether it be a hockey game, a basketball game, whatever. Yep. These games get so toxic online when it comes to online franchises, just online versus play. I mean, NHL, I'm going to kind of poke at just a little bit here because glitch goaling's been so bad. It doesn't matter what year of Chell it is. There's probably 3 or 4 glitch goals that someone's gonna, exploit while you're playing against them. That's all they're gonna do, and it really just ruins the entire experience to the point where you're probably just turning the game off for most of the part. And you know what? Madden's right there with it. I mean, I'm seeing clips from Madden this year of things that would never happen in a football game if it was played in space even. And it's crazy. Like, it blows me away that these companies get away every year because, people just want their sports games. Drew, you noted even before we started talking about this, we even do it. We just want the new and shiny, right? And even if it's just a couple new features, maybe these are the features that are going to make this game 1,000 times better than last year's game. But you know what? We end up being more disappointed than not. And to me, we just need more competitiveness overall in these markets. We need more sports games, whether it's arcade style, hockey or arcade style football. Let's bring NBA Street back. Let's get some of these more fun sports game franchises back to kind of liven up this market again. I mean, yes, it would be nice to see, simulation games and have, competitive developers out there making multiple games. But honestly, I don't see these monopolies going anywhere. So I'm just trying to figure out, what's the glass half full here where you'd be looking at these markets and trying to figure out what could be better. Let's bring back some of these retro sports franchises. And I think that would help really kind of bring things back. I don't know about you, Scott. I know you've probably played some of those. But overall, I think we've just, I don't know, man, we need change.
Yeah, no, I hear a lot of what you're saying. There's the old game that I used to play a lot was Wayne Gretzky's 98. And it was awesome. But it was not a simulation. It was decidedly different. And that was really important. That's what made it stand out. And since then, I've fallen into the NHLs, and I do enjoy them. I'm not going to try and say otherwise. But that lack of competition really just stagnates all the innovation. And then, as Nate said, with the turnaround time to pump out a new game, there just isn't time to innovate. And really is to the detriment of the whole genre now, because there's one monopoly and they're all kind of having the same issue, which is it's just stagnating to the point where we're seeing the copy of a copy of a copy over a decade now.
Absolutely, Scott. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like Nate brought it up before. This was off camera, actually. I want to give him credit to this because this was a great point. Call of Duty has 3 teams working on the same franchise. Why can't they do that with other sports games? Why can't EA do that? Dude, they got deep pockets. So Nate, that was a great point, right? Like there's no reason why they can't. What happens is we fall into the same thing. MLB The Show. Here's a prime example. I'm playing the crap out of franchise mode. Every time I jump back into my save file, last night I jumped back in. Here's what happens. Get ready to pitch. Everybody, welcome back to the game. You're in for an exciting turnaround. We're going for the cycle with this batter. Do the cycle. You know what cycle contains? A first base hit, a double, a triple, and a home run, okay? It's the first pitch of the first inning. There is no cycle. And it is every single time I jump back into my franchise game. I'm like, this is ridiculous because there's no competition, right? It's MLB The Show, and that's all there is. 2K used to make a baseball game, doesn't make it. EA used to make MVP, don't make it anymore. It's like, crap. We need these other franchises back to push this so we don't get this monotony of the same stuff. You're going to get into the same dialogue eventually as you get further and further into your franchise. But to get that every single time I turn it on, we're going for the cycle. I'm like, it's the first pitch. There is no cycle yet. Like, give me a break.
And he gets a hat trick. Shot of the game. What?
Right? Like, that's the problem, is that there's no competition. So these companies just get to steamroll with the same game over and over and over again. Yeah, they make small iterations, small improvements, bug fixes, and things like that. But it's just not enough today's standards. Absolutely. Like, I've seen some of the Madden stuff. It is ridiculous. Like, that is absurd to have that in. Like, they can't feel...
Next gen simulation football, buddy. That's what Madden 22 is supposed to be. And if you look up any videos on that, that is the furthest thing from it.
Right? And that's a problem. In today's standards, when we have companies that take their time to build a polished game, or even we stumble into other games that have taken 6 years to build, how do you turn around a game in 9 months? You can't really do that nowadays. Something needs to change. We'd like to know your feedback. Hit us up insidethegame.ca.
Wide open. Comes up with it.